Okay, good day everyone. So today I'll be doing a video on how I was able to get these setups on BTCUSD. So from last week, I spotted this breaker block on this point here last week. So I quickly marked that out as my first point of interest. So you can see I placed my entry at the beginning of the breaker block, and I use a 1:4 reward ratio. And you see price tapped on the breaker block and pushed to the upside to take out this buy side liquidity at this point here. Price took out this first buy side liquidity, then, and from the strategy I use, each time price, let's say price move in a particular trend, creating higher highs and higher lows, at every previous low, price always leaves an order block. At every previous low, price always leaves an order block. Each time price is moving in a particular trend, creating higher highs and higher lows, creating multiple break-up structures, it always leaves an order block at every previous low. So now from here, from this point here, this is the first break-up structure. Then this is the second break-up structure. So after this second break-up structure, if you observe here, I also marked another OB here. So how will you be able to know that there's an order block each time price creates a break of structure? How will you be able to know there's an order block at the previous low? So from here now, if you look on this 3-minute time frame, you won't be able to see the order block very clearly. So what you have to do, you have to go down to a lower time frame, so you can push to the 1-minute time frame. So go to the lower time frame now. If you observe here now, you can see the order block very clearly there. This is the order block. See, once multi price retested on the beginning of the order block, it pushed to the upside again to take out this previous high, creating another break of structure. So after this break of structure, what will you do next? Now you have to look for another order block that price will probably retest on. So from this point, if you look from this region here, you won't see any other block there. So how will you be able to know that there's an order block there after the break of structure? So now you have to go to an higher time frame. See, this strategy, you need to use multiple time frames for you to be able to spot the order blocks or the breaker block. Now I think this particular order block, I spotted it out on the 2-minute time frame. So since my trading view is not subscribe, I didn't subscribe to the trading view plan, so I won't be able to use the 2-minute time frame. So let me just use the 1-minute time frame. Let me use the 1-minute time frame for you guys. So you can also use a fair value gap in another scenario. So if you should draw this point as your fair value gap, you can see immediate price tapped into it, it pushed to the upside to take out buy side liquidity. So let me use that as my fair value gap. This is my fair value gap, but there's an order block there we should be able to spot on the 2-minute time frame. Then you see price tapped on the order block, push to the upside, took out this buy side liquidity, creating another break or structure. price took out the buy side liquidity, creating another break of structure. So now this is the next order block that price was supposed to use. Price was supposed to use this order block, but you see price just retested on this breaker block. This point I drew this BB. Price retested on that breaker block. If you see, I traced the line back. See price retested on this breaker block here. So if you should use a few pips on your stop loss, see price took out this previous high, creating a break of structure. And also from the strategy I used to, if price is moving in a particular trend and see price creating break of structures like this, and let's say, and each time price creates multiple highs like this, creating break of structures at this previous low, there's an order block here. And also at this previous high, there's also an order block, and if that order block gets violated, it automatically turns into a breaker block. So the breaker block is an order block that didn't play out, or an order block that got violated. So if price breaks above this order block, it has automatically turned into a breaker block. So what price will do first? Price will first of all push to the upside, retest back on top of the breaker block, which is the other block that got violated, which turned into a breaker block. Price first of all retest on it, push to the upside to take out this liquidity. Then you see price again come back to use the other block, then push to the opposite side again to take out liquidity, then creates a break of structure. Then you see price creates a break of structure again. See price again creates another break of structure again. So this is the kind of pattern. This is what it's what I'm expecting price to do. You see, first of all, price use the breaker block at this point. Use the breaker block at this point here. Then next thing, you see price push to the upside, created the break of structure, taking out that liquidity first. Then now you see price again coming to the downside to use this order block here. So this is the kind of pattern I always use when I'm trading. Say the first time price breaks above, it was supposed to retest on the other block, but price didn't retest. Instead, price used the breaker block to take out buy side liquidity. Then see price again coming back to use the order block. And you see, once immediately price tap into this order block, you can either wait for another market structure shift, or you can enter immediately price tapped into the order block. And also, I was able to cash this sell. I was able to cash that sell. If you go to the higher time frame, let me go to the 5 minutes. I think either the 5 minutes or the 15-minute time frame. That was what I was able to use to get this particular trade. Okay. The 15-minute time frame. So if you should mark this point, I used 50% of this order block here. So you see immediately price tapped into it, push to the downside. Then I'm using this previous low as my liquidity, and the other block in this kind of coming, using that as my liquidity. Then With this kind of pattern, each time price use the breaker block first before coming back to use the breaker block, coming down to use the other block. The low, this previous low created by the breaker block, which price used to tap on, that should be your inducement or your liquidity. So anytime you see that other block protected by liquidity, just know that is valid and there's a high chance for it to play out. So this is what I'm using here. This point, I'm using it as my inducement, which is my liquidity. So you see I drew this blue line to this opposite side, and I use this dollar sign as my liquidity. So you see price push down, it just took out the liquidity a little bit. So I'm still expecting price to move below this liquidity point to tap into the other block, then continue to go to the upside. And another thing for my analysis for this week on BTCUSD. So see, from this point here, price took out liquidity on this point here. After price took out that liquidity, if you observe, this was the previous low price created, and that was the previous low price created. And what we're expecting price to do, since this previous low, since price created a break of structure here, we're expecting price to retest on the other block on this point here. So what you see price needs do, that price first of all use the breaker block, push to the upside, instead of price to retest on this other block, then take out this previous high. Price didn't do that, but what did price do next? Price came down from this point and broke below this other block. So if you remember, I told you guys that other block that get violated has automatically turned into a breaker block. You see price break below this other block, so automatically this other block has turned into a breaker block. And also price has created a market structure shift. That's to tell you the uptrend is not valid anymore, and price has automatically moved into a downtrend. So let me take all this out. Price has automatically moved into a downtrend. So you see from this point here, this is also okay, that has automatically turned into a market structure shift. So this is the first pullback coming. This is the first pullback after this is the first pullback after the market structure shift. This is first pullback after the market structure shift. So this, you can use this as your inducement or your liquidity. I'm using this as my liquidity, or you can also call it inducement. So now this is an order block also that got violated. So if you should trace this line back now, if you should trace the line back, you will see this order block has automatically turned into a breaker block. That's why I wrote this BB on this point. So I'm expecting price now to use this order block from here, then retest on this breaker block. So after price retest on this breaker block, what happened next? This liquidity here automatically turn into another break of structure. So after the break of structure now, what next? We expect price to pull back again. To retest on another order block, since price will create a break of structure here. So expect price to retest on another order block, then push to the upside back, push back to the upside to use this order block before pushing down finally. So this is what I'm expecting price to do on BTC USD. Expecting price to do this on BTC USD after the market structure shift. You see the first pullback to retest on the breaker block, then use that as your inducement, then expect price to go back again to use the other block before clearing out liquidity. So now expect price to clear out this sell side liquidity. So this is what I'm expecting price to do on BTC USD. I don't usually trade BTC USD. I mostly trade on Euro USD and GBP USD. So for those that trade BTC USD, you can also use this pattern. So let me give another analysis again. I was able to get all these trades on BTC USD too. So now from this time frame, we go to 30-minute time frame. I think I took this trade on the higher time frame. Okay, the 1 hour. You can see I always use multiple time frames when taking trades. So you can see price has been on a downtrend. Let me clear this line. I see price has been on a downtrend on BTC USD after the market structure shift, retest on order block, push down again, created a break of structure here, pushed back up to retest on an order block. So now I'm expecting price to push down here to create another break of structure here. Expecting price to create another break of structure here. So that's why I'm expecting a downtrend on BTC USD. So now from this point here, you see there's a market structure shift here. Market structure shift. First OB. Sorry. First OB here. First break of structure. Sorry. You see price came back. Retest on OB. If you should go to a lower time frame, you'll be able to see the order block there. So don't just imagine I mark the order block on that week candlestick. So if you should go to a lower time frame, you will be able to see the order block there very clearly. So now see price created a break of structure after retesting on that OB, created a break of structure. So now after the break of structure, what next? You have to look for another order block. So this is the next order block price is going to use. So that's why I drew this blue line to the right side. If you should trace it to the right side, you see I marked that as my OB, and you see price tap into the OB, then push to the downside to take out liquidity. So first, after that, I marked my first break of structure. After price to clear out liquidity, I mark my first break of structure. So after marking the first break of structure, what next? Now you have to look for another order block that price will probably retest on from this region. You have to look for another order block from this region that price will probably retest on. So now you have to go down to a lower time frame. You have to go down to a lower time frame, because if you should look at this chart, you won't be able to see the order block very clearly. So now you go down to a lower time frame until you are able to spot that order block. So now you can see very clearly this is the order block here. This is the order block here, and you see I drew this blue line to the right side and I marked that as my OB, and you see price tapped on the OB, then push to the downside again, creating another break of structure here. So after the break of structure, what next? Now you have to look for another order block. So now if you should look at this point here, you should look at this region here, you won't be able to see any order block very clearly. So what you have to do, you have to go down to a lower time frame. You have to go down to a lower time frame now. So go to the 15-minute time frame. So you see you have to use multiple time frames to be able to spot the order blocks and breaker block. So now go to a lower time frame. See, from here you won't be able to spot the order block very clearly, so you keep going down to lower time frame. So you keep going down to lower time frame, so you'll be able to spot it. It's not there, so keep going. Keep going down to lower time frames. So you use multiple time frames to spot the order block. So now from this point here, you can clearly see, but I took this trade very early. You can clearly see it here. So if you should use this as your order block, and see if you should trace it back to this region. You see price tapped on it, then push to the downside again. Okay, price, I think price used this first as this was supposed to be the breaker. Sorry, this is the breaker block. So price used this breaker block first, push to the downside to clear out this sell side liquidity, and now this breaker block has automatically turned into your inducement, meaning price will probably use this as your liquidity. Probably use this as your liquidity. So, or you can call it the inducement. Sorry. Now what next? After price creates this inducement, you see expect price to pull back again to use the order block. So now you have to go to an higher time frame, so you'll be able to spot the order block. Keep going to higher time frames. So now on this point here, if you should look at this region here, you can clearly see the order block at this point. So now if you should trace that line back, now you should trace this order block back. If you should trace it back now to this point, you can see immediately price tap into this order block. Price tap into the order block. Now it pushed down again to take out this low, finally creating a final break of structure, making the break of structure very valid. So now you can see after the break of structure, then from this point I was able to get this setup also. So you need to always observe previous charts and observe the what market has done in previous trades or previous charts, then observe what price is currently doing. So now if you should trace this line back to this point, trace it back with this point, trace it back with this point here, you can clearly see this order block here. Clearly see that order block there. So that was how I was able to get this particular trade. So if you should trace, let me spot the order block very clear for you guys so you'll be able to get it. This is the order block here. So if you should trace it back now to this point, see price just pricing tap, but I took the trade like a manual entry. So see after price tapped, push to the upside, took out this buy side liquidity. So after that, you see price has been creating multiple break of structure just like that until it created a market structure shift. So that's how you can be able to get this kind of setups on any pair, most especially dollar pairs that are related to dollar, like the Euro USD, GBP USD, and so on. GBP also works for GBP JPY, GBP CAD, and some other pairs. So you can also do a back test on them. So for those that don't know what an order block is, so I'll be doing a quick explanation on order blocks. So there are different types of order blocks. So I'll draw them on the screen for you guys to see. So gonna draw that for you guys to see. So for this particular one, this is a bullish order block. This is a bullish order block. Then for this, why this is a bearish order block. So this is the first type of order block. So let me give you another example of other types of order block. So this is also another type of order block. This is a bearish order block. This is a bearish order block. And this is a bullish order block. It's a bullish order block. So these are the types of order block I usually use when taking my entries. So if you can be able to spot this kind of order blocks on the chart, each time price creates a break of structure, once you see this kind of order blocks on the chart, always use them to take your entries, because they always have a high probability to always play out. So that's all for today, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell so you can get updates on my videos. Thank you.